A very good morning and Assalamu alaikum to all of you, my very dear students of higher secondary section, class 9 computer. As you know that I am Sir Zishan in front of you and teaching you computer science. This is my lecture number 12 and I'm on unit number 2, computer components. So let me start my lecture and all of you open your book, page number 30. Have a look on the board. Computer class 9, lecture number 12, page number 30. If you will not open your book, I think you cannot understand properly what I am teaching you, because I already taught you about CPU, ALU, CU, functions of CPU, functions of ALU and CU, and also about 14 registers which work as volatile memory. And now this is the time for computer buses. Read the question on the board. This is question number 2 written in your book. Define the term bus in general. What are the purposes of data bus, address bus and control bus? So, all my lovely students, first of all, you should know what is a computer bus. You see, the concept of buses in general, I explained you, I think in my lecture number 10, when I was giving the briefing of unit number 2, computer components. This is the same concept of buses which you have in your daily life. Did you see? The buses are running on the roads. What they are doing? They are bringing persons and their luggage from one place to another. You understand this thing what I am telling you? Buses. I am asking you, what is the purpose of buses running on the roads of Karachi or Lahore, whatever it may be? What is the purpose? Tell me that. Simply, purpose is that to bring the persons from one place to another place with their luggage, and the persons pay money for that. Understand? This is the same concept of buses in computer. Remember the definition of buses in computer. Buses are set of wires in which data travels from one place to another. Alright? Are you listening? Same concept. Over there in city area, the buses are bringing you and your stuff. Over here in computer, the computer buses are bringing the data, the information from one place to another through the wires. So, I am telling you this thing, that buses are set of wires which is a communication path. Now, read the board, the definition which I wrote over there. Bus of computer. Bus is a set of wires which is used as a communication path. These wires or connections connect the different components together. I hope you understand that. And now, types of buses. How many types of buses? Answer. 3 types of buses. Number 1, address bus. Number 2, control bus. Number 3, data bus. You will never forget if you will see the diagram, whatever I designed for you. It will make you easy to learn. Type of buses. You see, buses, 3 types. Number 1, address bus. Number 2, control bus. Number 3, data bus. And a very short definition about all these types of buses. So, number 1, address bus. Remember the word address. It is used to connect CPU with main memory. Remember this thing. CPU with main memory, and also to identify particular location in main memory where data is stored. See, particular location, that means address. Understand what I am saying? Particular location, that means address. So, this is the definition of address bus. Bring your copies, start writing. Write the definition and also draw this diagram. Draw this diagram. Write the definition of address bus. Number 2, control bus. What is a control bus? Answer. It controls information between CPU and other devices within the computer. Oh, very simple, easy to learn. See the names. Address bus, I told you where is the address, and Because it controls information. That's why it is called control bus. Read the definition. Dear student, listen. I advise you to open page number 30 of your book, and with my lecture you will have to study page number 30, because most of the things are written over there in detail. See, listen my lecture and read the book, and also these short notes on the board, so you will be successful. Now you understand address bus and also control bus. And the last one, number 3, data bus. Data bus is the route through which data can travel among CPU, memory and peripherals. Students, there is a new word, peripheral. What does it mean, peripheral? Let me tell you the meaning of peripheral, and you will never forget that. Peripheral means hands and legs. Hands and legs, these are called peripherals. So, definition: it is the route through which data can travel among CPU, memory and peripherals. I told you the meaning of peripheral: hands and legs. Oh, in computer, what are hands and legs? Remember this thing. The devices of computer are also known as the peripherals. These peripherals are the hands and legs of the computer. Listening? Are you listening? Are you enjoying my lecture? Very simple English. Very simple. I am not using the difficult words or difficult sentences in my English language. I am delivering my lecture in very simple English. A student of class 3, 4 or 5, they also can understand my language easily, but it depends upon practice. See, the reason is that practice makes the man perfect. If you will practice to listen English, then you will understand English, and then you can speak in English. Remember 3 things. Number 1, listen. Number 2, understand. Number 3, speak. Not only English language, all the languages consist of these 3 things. Number 1, listen. Number 2, understand. Number 3, automatically speaking. My advice to you, pay your attention towards English language. My lectures are in pure English language. But anyway, you may write your comments if you do not understand any sentence or any word spoken by me. Okay? Question number 3. Define RAM and ROM. But Sometimes this question appears in your examination and they don't say define RAM and ROM. They say write the difference between RAM and ROM. So look at the board what I have done for you. Define RAM and ROM or write difference between RAM and ROM. See this thing? Whatever the question it may be about RAM and ROM, you may write this thing, but you will have to make 2 columns. Remember what I am telling you, make 2 columns where you are asked to write the difference. It's also called compare and contrast. Remember the word compare and contrast. What does it mean by compare and contrast? I'm telling you the difference. See, the difference is that compare and contrast. One thing is coming from this side and the other thing is coming from that side. So this is compare and contrast. You see, compare and contrast. Remember this word. And now look at the board. I wrote in very simple and easy way for you to understand this question. Read it now. Number 1, RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. C-R-A-M. Random Access Memory. It is read and write memory. You can read the data and you can also write the data on RAM, Random Access Memory. Okay. Number 1, ROM. R-O-M, ROM. ROM stands for Read Only Memory, which is used only to read data. It is not used to write the data. See, that's why it is called ROM. R-O-M. Read only memory. Point number 2. It is a volatile. Volatile. What do I mean by volatile? Volatile means you can rub it, you can erase it, you can delete it. That is called volatile. It is a volatile or temporary memory. On the other hand, ROM, it is a non-volatile or permanent memory. You understand? Temporary memory, permanent memory. Temporary memory you can erase, volatile. Permanent memory you cannot erase, non-volatile memory. So, RAM is volatile, temporary memory. ROM is non-volatile, permanent memory. Point number 3. Not a pre-programmed memory. What does that mean? It means you don't have already the program is stored in RAM. No. No pre-program. No program will be found in RAM. Because when you will start your work, then it will store your program, your data, whatever it may be. So, RAM is not a pre-programmed memory, but on the other hand, ROM, it is pre-programmed memory. What does it mean? The manufacturer store the program in ROM. You understand manufacturer? Manufacturer means the company which makes the computer. For example, IBM, ICL, Fujitec, many others. They are making computers and they are storing programs in ROM. Then you get the ROM. That means ROM is a pre-programmed memory. ROM is a pre-programmed memory. Number 4, it is user's memory. It is not user's memory. What does that mean? We are user, you are user. Everybody who can work on computer, he or she is a user. So we work first of all in ROM. That's why ROM is user's memory. On the other hand, ROM, no, it's not user's memory. I told you that manufacturer store the program in ROM. Now, types of RAM and ROM. We have two types of RAM, dynamic RAM and static RAM. In the same way, we have three types of ROM, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. Listen. Programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, and electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Understand? Let me finish my lecture. And let me ask you about the homework. What is the homework? Learn question answer. Question number 2 and question number 3. I hope you will copy down these all the things from the board and you will read page number 30 of your computer book and listen my lecture in the video.